heartless man. Who wants him around? He's all alone. To fall all the way down.
Way of training, and once you explain that, can you do pretty much the same thing that the Hogan did? Kind of explain what got you into the business and who helped you to get started in there. But I'm interested to know myself, you know, how in the hell you get to look like that? You jack, bro.
Man, this is coming from somebody who's twice my size. Man, I'm trying to get like you, brother, man. You see those arms right there?
Well, all you gotta do is get fat, bald-headed, black, and ugly. You look just like me.
Well, I'm halfway there. Yeah, Monte The Pharaoh, #1 wrestling podcast. Yeah, when it comes to podcasts, they are the cream, the crop. Yeah, dig it?
Heartless man. We don't need him around. For you know he's on the road.
Yeah, Don't adjust your set. Yeah, or your computer or your phone. Yeah, whatever device you're watching on right now. Yeah, I may not look much like the Motch that you know, but if you go back and you watch some footage, yeah, if you call yourself a real Macho Man fan, then you got this right here. And what you'll see is some of Macho Man's first promos. And at that time, in the beginning of his career, he had blondish hair. He was doing a different type of look. And you'll see a look very similar to this one, yeah. So the reason why is because every time that I come on here, on every Monday, yeah, I'm going to have a different look. And I'm going to be taking you down memory lane. Alright, so the first thing you got to do is check this out so you know that I'm telling you the truth, yeah. Now, speaking of memory lane, yeah, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go down memory lane, blast from the past, and I'm gonna show you some of my memorabilia on how I became Motch-0-Man. But I'm gonna take you way back before that, way back. I'm talking time distortion, yeah, space is the place, way back in time, all right? And what I got here is a box full of memorabilia over the years, man, souvenirs. If you hear any weird noises, that's Daisy. That's my dog. She's a little bit of a spotlight hog, you know, she's hot dogging and trying to steal the spotlight. So she's gonna make sounds like that to try to get my attention. She doesn't like it when I don't pay attention. Typical, right? So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna tell you a little story about how I became a wrestling fan, first of all. And that happened back in 1985. Yeah, 1985. And what happened was I got a glimpse of wrestling for the first time. And it happened to be WrestleMania 1, so Macho Man wasn't even on the video scope at that time. But when I found him later on, I was hooked like that. And I knew that I wanted to be a wrestler. Yeah, from the minute I watched wrestling, I knew. I finally figured out my destiny, yeah. So I'm going to take you down memory lane a little bit here. I'm going to go through this box and I'm going to find some things to take you down the road of when I was a wrestling fan first. I'm going to be going through this stuff, so bear with me because some of this stuff is a little bit later on for the next episode. Don't worry, I got it all planned out, man. But this stuff here is, there's a lot of stuff here that goes way back. All right, here we go. Here's a good start here. All right, this is deep stuff, guys. I'm gonna show you. When I was a kid, all I could think about was being a wrestler. So, I got here some drawings that I drew up. You're gonna like this stuff, man. Yeah. I don't know if you can see all that here. Wait a minute. Check that out. That's a drawing of me. I pictured myself as a wrestler, and I would draw up these concepts of what kind of tights I would have, and you know, complete with mullet, and you could see a little bit of Macho Man in there with the wristbands and the funky tights, right? Those were gonna be my colors. The black. It's kind of like a mixture of Bret Hart there. I had my favorites and I wanted to combine all of them. So the black and pink was like my thing. And here's a picture. Wasn't a bad artist, honestly, but because all I could think about was wrestling 24/7. And here's a picture of 4 of my favorite wrestlers at the time. And Motch isn't on there for whatever reason, I don't know, but we got Hulk Hogan, Brutus Beefcake, The Ultimate Warrior, Bret Hart. And, you know, these were drawn, you know, 11, 12 years old or something like that. Just to show you guys. Here's another concept of myself here with trunks. Black and pink, lightning bolts on the side. With notes on the side of, see, wrestling trunks with lightning bolts, knee pads to match the lightning bolts. I had it all planned out, You know what I'm saying? I was visualizing, but I was also manifesting. Here it is. Here's another concept of, you see some of the rockers look in that one there, in the top one. And then the bottom one was like, I was even thinking about what will my wrestling persona wear outside the ring. So I had it all planned out with the Zumba pants and the jacket to match and a pink weightlifting belt. You got to remember this was like the 80s, you know what I mean? So I was rocking that style, but I had it all planned out in my head. Here's some more. There I am. See, I had that vision in my head, man. This one was with like the little bit of the biker short type of things, which not a lot of people wore back then. But that's me, or at least I thought that was gonna be me. I never really did that particular look. Wow, there's a lot of these, man. I really spent a lot of time thinking about this stuff. Oh, here's another one. You know, again, the same idea, lightning bolts and black and pink, man, that was my deal. And then different color schemes. Here it is with white, and then the black and pink. And you could see it was very similar to Macho Man, you know, the stuff that he would wear outside the ring, when he would have the tights and the cowboy boots and the, you know, the weightlifting belt and everything. So I was getting these ideas. Here's another one. Same type of deal, different color scheme. A whole pink suit. But it was always pink, black, and white. So that was the deal there with, you know, I had the pink gloves, the white belt. Man, this would have been a cool gimmick. I don't know, I didn't stick to that when I became a wrestler, which I'll get into later on. I was actually a wrestler, and we'll get into that. But here's another black and white idea. Same deal. Here I am, changed it up a little bit here. And then it's kind of got like an Owen Hart type of deal to it. Don't worry, the list goes on. I guess I gave myself Muscle Man Mark Ward. Mark Ward is my real name. You won't hear that too often, so you heard it here. Yeah. Ah, look at this. See that right there? A student. This was something that I wrote for school. back in the day. Why I Like Wrestling by Mark Ward. You want me to read it to you? I know you do, so I'm going to read it. I like wrestling for many different reasons. The first reason would be is for as long as I could remember, I wanted to be famous. I wanted to be an actor, but I can't act. I wanted to be a famous rock singer, but I can't sing. One thing I know for a fact that I could do well is wrestle, which I had no idea. I had no reason to believe that at all. Turns out I wasn't very good at that either, but I didn't know. I also like to work out and get big. Yeah, that I knew. You have to be big to wrestle. That used to be true. So, if I worked out and got to be huge, it would be, what did I write here? Oh, it would be wasted doing anything else. Another reason would be the money. Once again, didn't know. I love money almost as much as wrestling itself. I don't ever remember that being true of being so big on having money because I don't have any, so I must have not have been too serious about it. Wrestlers make almost $1 million a year. I don't know where I did my information. There was no internet back then, but that is not true, especially if you're starting out on the indies. And even if you make it to the big time, not everybody's making $1 million, believe me. Now remember, I'm a kid, and I write, the third reason would be the girls. Young wrestlers get the most girls. They love big, rich, famous men. I can't believe I wrote this. I will be all three one day. Other than that, I couldn't tell you why I like wrestling so much. I just do. It's just me. What else can I possibly say? And then you got, says here, I love action, I love adventure, I love excitement, I love wrestling. Get it? And there's a picture of a wrestling ring on the bottom there. Man. All right, back to some pictures here. I don't think I showed you this one yet, but you probably saw one very similar. I don't know what's up with my tan there. I'm looking kind of pink. Let's see. Here we go. This proves that I was a Macho Man fan. Here we go. And this was drawn in 1987. I have a date on here. I wrote a date. And I think this was after seeing Macho Man live. Because it says down here, Randy Savage versus Honky Tonk Man. And the first time I ever went to Madison Square Garden, it was Macho Man and Honky Tonk Man in an Intercontinental title match. And I had such a good time that I drew this picture. Little did I know that I would become the #1 Macho Man impersonator, past, present, future, yeah. Little did I know that I'd be, I knew that I was going to be a wrestler. That part I knew. Didn't know what was coming after because I didn't think there would be an after, you know. But, things happen. And I'm glad that I ended up where I ended up. And here's something that my brother drew. He was a very good artist. So he drew this picture of me. And it says Mark in the WWF. And my catchphrase was, just a little crazy. I don't know, he gave that to me. I guess that was my, guess he thought I was a little crazy. I am, what can I say? All right, let's see. I want to continue taking you guys down memory lane of before. I got some stuff here from when I was a wrestler. But I want to take you down before I was a wrestler, like fan type stuff. These are just some newspaper articles. It didn't have nothing to do with me. I got the, I don't know, I saved this stuff, the New York Post, the death of Owen Hart. This was a newspaper in Texas that, about the fan access. It was WrestleMania 17. And I was there in attendance. So this stuff here is just fan memorabilia that I had saved. Trying to find the good stuff, the old stuff. I think there's more stuff here about when I was wrestling. Some of my old stuff. So I'm gonna try to find the other stuff. I'm gonna take this jacket off, man. I proved my point as to the look that I was going for, but it is very hot to be wearing a very heavy leather jacket. Plus now I get to show off the guns, yeah. And everybody at home wants to see that. Look at that right there. Yeah. All right. Let's see. There is a lot of stuff here, guys. I saved a lot of the things, man. I'm like a memorabilia hoarder right here. All right, here's some cool things here. All right, well, let's see. Still trying to go way back. I might be mixing a few things here and a few things here and there of when I was first starting out in wrestling. Hold on, guys. Dropping everything here. Hold on. I got so many things that's overflowing. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Try to take you down. Oh, wow. All right, you know what? We'll jump around a little bit because everything is kind of mixed in here. So here's what we'll do. Here's some fun stuff. Here is, talk about saving everything, man. Look at this. See what that says? WWF. And I think what I did was I wrote them a letter asking them about how to become a wrestler. This was 1993. Thank you for your interest in working with World Wrestling Federation and Titan Sports. Although your credentials are impressive and your background most interesting, we have no openings that are compatible with your experience at this present time. And it even says, even way back then, best luck in your future endeavors. Lisa P. Wolf, Director of Human Services. Or Resources. Whatever. I might have been asking about a regular job over there because I lived in New York and the headquarters was not far from me, which, something, if I could find it, if it's in here, something very interesting to go along with that. I don't know if it's in this folder here. Oh, yep. You see this? 1241. This is a pass for WWE headquarters because I actually did work there for a short time. Very short time, like it says right there. Temporary. It was very temporary. It was for a week. I got hired by a temp agency, and I worked in fan services, which was entering fan mail into a database and doing something like that. And how that happened was I had a friend that worked at WWF headquarters, and he told me which temp agency that they went through to hire temps. So I went over there, submitted, did the whole thing, you know, application, what my skills are, and they would call me up and they'd say, oh, well, we have, you know, we have an opening over at this company, or we have, you know, over at this company, that company. So finally they said we got something over at World Wrestling Federation, and I went, all right, well, had to make it seem like I wasn't that into it, you know what I mean? But I had the plan, and the plan worked because I got my foot in the door, and I actually worked at WWE headquarters, and had my own little desk. I believe I was on the second floor, and Vince's office was on the fourth floor. And of course, one day I went up to the fourth floor and took a little stroll past his office. Yeah. And that's just one of the attempts, man. This was when I was already wrestling, and I was trying to get in, literally get my foot in the door, and that's how I did it. Didn't work. It was one of my attempts. Here is here's some fun stuff here. A little pay stub that I got paid. There's a few of them in here. And here's a copy of the check, actually, that I did extra work for WWE doing, wonder when okay, this was actually WrestleMania. Which WrestleMania was it in 2007? Don't know, but it was in, where was it? Detroit, I believe, right? Well, anyway, I was living in Kentucky at the time, and Mike Bucci, who was the head of talent relations at the time, brought a lot of the OVW guys in for extra work whenever they had it in the area. So I was brought in for WrestleMania, and I was one of the Undertaker's druids, and Melina, one of the photographers. And if you go back and watch, you could actually see a quick glimpse of me with the camera with the flashes. And here's a paycheck for that. And has my old Kentucky address on it, man. Wow. So that's what this is. There's a couple of them because I worked a couple of enhancement talent, extra work type of deals. Why is this one 150 and the other one's 300? And they were ripping me off already. So like I said, we're gonna bounce around a little bit because, and I'll get into the story of how I became a wrestler and everything. Maybe I'll save that for episode number 2. Now that you guys know that I was a wrestler, I'm going to take you down memory lane of how that all happened. But right now, since I have this stuff out in front of me, we got my Kentucky wrestling license. And actually there's 2 of them, because you have to get them like every year. And here's a bunch of New York State from the Athletic Commission, my wrestling license here. Check it out. You had to get one of these, and I was wrestling in New York a very long time, so there they all are. My oh my, how I've changed over the years. Here, I'll just show you. Where's the oldest one? I'll show you the oldest one. There's 98, 99, 2000, 2001, 2002. So I guess this one is the oldest one from 1998. Look at that guy. That's right. That's me. Would have never known I was going to turn out so pretty. Yeah, dig it. Yeah. Here's the way I trademarked my wrestling name, Vic Divine. Trademarked it the old school way, where you send a certified letter to yourself. And nobody ever tried stealing my name, which is good. Let's see. know what this stuff is. Not important. I'm not going to show you everything because then we'll be here all day. But here you go. Can you see what this envelope says? Look at this. Another thing, before I was a wrestler and I was trying to figure out how to get in the door because there was no internet. That's why there's envelopes that have, regular mail. But there wasn't much of a way to find out information, and I wanted to be a wrestler. So I even talked to the people at WCW. What did I say? What did I have to say to them? Call for appointment for reservation to our next tryout session, which I don't think I ever went to. What year was this? Oh, I dropped the ball on that one. Send a certified check to World Championship Wrestling, $250 for a tryout. Maybe that's why I didn't have any money. I don't know what year this was, but I guess I was already wrestling and I was trying to figure out. Wow, I didn't even fill out the waiver. What's wrong with me? WCW tryout camp. Wow. Who's this? Mike Wiener? Who? I don't know who that is. That's pretty cool, man. Some of this stuff I haven't seen in so long that I kind of forgot about. So I'm going down memory lane with you. ECW, School of Pro Wrestling, House of Hardcore, Long Island. Ask for Pete, I believe that's, how do you say his last name? Seneca, I can't read it, but I think that's Taz, if I'm not mistaken. Tell him Tommy Dreamer, friend of Scott from The Wiz, recommended you look into this school. So this was given to me by somebody, but I never went to that school. I don't know what the hell was wrong with me. I was finding out information. Eventually I did start training. And I'll tell you guys in the next episode how that happened. Now, here's a little booklet here. I'm not going to go through everything here, but this little booklet is when I was wrestling and I was like writing down every idea that came to my head. I would come up with like a spot, write it down. Certain moves I would get an idea for, and I'd write it down. Everything was wrestling, man. Everything. And you know what? If you want to be a wrestler, that's the way that your mind has to be. Because if you don't want it that bad, like as bad as I was wanting it, you ain't gonna make it, man. You gotta have it like an obsession. This ain't something that you just say, let me try that. You gotta really want it. Let's see if there's anything in here. No, this is like, I'm not gonna show you like, here's a Tommy Dreamer autograph. Oh, my brother got it for me because my brother was working at this place and he came in there because Tommy Dreamer was from the same town, just about. And I'd run into him everywhere. But before I met him, my brother met him and got his autograph. So that's what this is. There's some autographs and stuff in there. I think a lot of this stuff might be more of my oh yeah, here's some flyers and stuff with my name on them. Some that they always spelled my name wrong. I'll show you guys the cool ones, like with my picture on them and stuff like that. I'm gonna show you all of them. Just looking through. What is this? Yeah. So that's just like, yeah, this stuff is more like wrestling information. Alright. Boring. Let's see. Bunch of DVDs. I'd like to go through all these, man. Wow. Here's a DVD of, I guess this must be like my, my greatest hits or something. Because that's me. That's right. See that? I was a wrestler. Looked like a wrestler. Was a wrestler. You understand what I'm saying? Don't get me started on that subject, because that'll be somewhere down the line. Believe me, I'm going to talk about today's wrestling. Yeah, there's some DVDs here, man. Wow. I don't know what's on a lot of them, but should be good stuff because it's all about me. Yeah, my favorite subject. My favorite. Yeah, what is this? Wow. Alright, I'll have to go through these later. Uh-huh. You want to talk about being old? Alright, look, a VHS. Some of you have never even seen one of these. It's the best of Vic Divine. It's probably not a very long tape. Well, here it is. Well, actually, it is a long tape because here's all the contents of this tape. All of my, I think it's every match that I had access to. And there's some pretty cool stuff on here, man. One day I'm gonna have to give me a VCR and pop this thing in. But there was a match. Wow, there's some OVW stuff on here. There's wow, I didn't even remember. Oh my god. Vic Divine versus Jim Powers in 2007. Wait a minute, that's not 2007. That's supposed to be 97. Or no, it was 2007. I came back to New York. That's right. Wow. Maybe one day I'll have to do an episode where I show some of my matches, man, that I don't even remember. Wow, man. Unbelievable. I know there's a match on there. There was a TNA dark match from 2003 when TNA wasn't even like, it was just pay-per-views, and we had a dark match. It was me and my my buddy Johnny Thunder, and we had a tag match, and we got that on tape. Ah, here we go. Okay, wait a minute. Alright, it looks like most of this stuff is going to be, because I didn't save that many things that were like fan related or before I was a wrestler, except for like the pictures and stuff that I showed you, the drawings, and the letters and stuff like that. So we are going to jump in to some of the things from early in my wrestling career. Before I go there, I'm going to give you a quick rundown of how that all happened, okay? So, being that I wanted to be a wrestler, and I knew that ever since I was about 11 years old, fast forward about 10 years, and I'm working in a gym. And I had just gotten hired, and my boss was kind of talking to me to find out a little bit about me, you know, just making small talk. And he says, so what do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to do? And now, I never told anybody, man. I kept it to myself, you know. I didn't want to say nothing until I knew that it was really possible. And but at that time, I had already started working out and getting big, and so I felt a little bit more confident that people would take me serious. So I told a few people, and for whatever reason, he was one of the people that I told, and there wasn't many. I don't even think my parents knew at the time. And I told him, I said, yeah, I want to be a professional wrestler. And the next words out of his mouth changed my life, man, because he said to me, there's a guy who works out here. I'll introduce you to him. Who's a wrestler. And I'm thinking, wow, who is it? I only knew of WWE and I knew of ECW. I didn't know about the indies, man, because it was still no internet back then. There was no way. I just didn't know. So it turns out he did do some ECW stuff, but I didn't know who he was, but I was introduced to him, and he went by the name of Shark Attack Kid, and his name was Vinny Magnetti. And I went up to him, man, and I just, said, hey, I know you don't know me, but, I hear you're a wrestler, and I've always wanted to be a wrestler, and, I don't know if you train people, but, I'd really like you to train me. And, for whatever reason, man, he believed in me and saw the passion in my eyes and knew that I was serious. And he said, yeah, okay, man, and I remember it was like the next week we went down to where he was training at the time. He was training down in Long Island, and he was training at Mikey Whipwreck's school, or not a school, it was like a garage with a ring in it, where they were trained. And I didn't know who Mikey Whipwreck was, but I knew that it was there, and there was other wrestlers there, and so we get there, and the ring is taken apart. So I'm all excited about getting in the ring for the first time, even just touching the ring, never been that close. I'm gonna be in an actually wrestling, man. I'm like excited. And I guess the boards broke or something like that, and they had the ring taken apart. So there was my first wrestling session. We found another place that was in Brooklyn, and we started training there. And the rest is history, man. He started training me, and we were there twice a week, every week, every Tuesday and Thursday, learning how to bump, learning how to lock up, learning how to do everything, the beginner stuff. And a year later, I had my first match, which was the Drizzling Shits. But what do you expect? But now that I gave you the rundown, I see some things here. Like I said, I save everything. I'm going to show you guys things that you probably never see people save. But what I have here, these are the socks that I wore in my first match. And they were the old school scrunchy socks that a lot of the bodybuilders wore those with their Zuba pants. And but I wore these because I had boots that were low. I didn't know where to get wrestling boots. I wore boxing boots with these scrunched down, so they made the boots look higher. It made my came up to where my calves start, so that my legs didn't look scrawny. And hey, just by the way, look at the bag. Talk about saving everything. Had to save that. That right there is real memorabilia. The place isn't there anymore. But well, what do we got in here? I'm not gonna go through everything, but we got my first pair of tights, what I wore, and they weren't real wrestling tights. They were actually, I'll just show you these are them. I got other tights and everything, and they're all in here, but this is what I wore my first match, my first few matches, and these were actually long pants. But you buy these at the bodybuilding store type of deal, and I had them cut into the biker shorts because I had pretty impressive legs, and cut and sewn so they look like wrestling tights. And as you can see, there's a little they're worn a little bit because I got a hole in the butt. Wow. These are going back 1998, my first match. So I didn't have real wrestling gear because I didn't really know where to get it, but I still looked professional. I wasn't out there in a pair of gym shorts and a t-shirt, you know what I mean? And then there's other tights in here that I got over the years as I found out where to get stuff and everything. And these are the last pairs of tights that I wore. I got trunks made. This was at the end of my career, so those were my first ones, and these are my last ones here. But see, the lightning bolts, man. I went back to my old original drawing plan. I don't know, I had a thing for lightning bolts. And oddly enough, well, these aren't lightning bolts. This is another pair of tights that I had back in the day. Blue was that was my color too. I changed it from pink to royal blue, where this had flames on the side there, and pretty generic wrestling shorts. So, hope you guys are enjoying Memory Lane. I'm having a good time showing this stuff to you, man. Let's see what else we got. Oh, that's just more tights and stuff, man. Yeah, I had a few different looks. Ah, I like this. All right. Now, Vic Divine never had an action figure, but there were fans out there that would make figures to look like their favorite indie wrestlers by buying one that looks similar and then changing it up. And this right here, I love this thing. That is me as a figure, and I believe that was either a Stone Cold or a Goldberg. But he painted my tights. Those were the tights that I had at the time. You can see by the picture. And I love this thing, man. It's kind of like that's what it would have looked like if I made it. If I actually got a figure. That's pretty cool, man. I'll never get rid of that thing. That thing is like, it's one of the coolest things that, and a fan made that for me, man. And I was like, oh my God, like, let's see, what do we got? Well, I'm not gonna take you through all this, but this is basically a photo album of some of me wrestling, some action photos, and some still shots. Yeah, I'll just show you. I'll show you what Vic Divine used to look like. I got to get back into that kind of shape. A few years have gone by since then. But this is the kind of stuff that it's priceless. You know what I mean? Oh, wait a minute. Okay, I skipped some. Okay, this whole thing over here. Hold on. Wait, let me see. There's a box that says my wrestling stuff. See, I don't even know what's in it, guys. I don't even know. Ah. Oh, okay, I know what this is. There's some shirts, some prototypes here. Let's see. Here we go. So Fine Vic Divine. That's what I looked like when I first started wrestling, when I had hair. And then years later, another shirt was made. And these were made by, I think the first one my dad made playing around on the computer. And then my friend Sarah made these ones here. Vic Divine. I don't want to unfold them, because then I'll have to fold them back again. And they're like folded perfectly for this box here. Let's see. Actually, yeah, this is all just stuff from, oh wow, look at this, okay. My first OVW shirt when I was wrestling down there, old school OVW shirt. These are things, man, that are like priceless, you know what I mean? Here's a. Oh, I got like Tough Enough shirts and stuff like that. They're in a folder there. I'm not gonna take you through everything. I don't want to bore you. But I tried out for Tough Enough number 1, 2, and 3, I believe. And then it started to get where you had to like send in a tape, and it wasn't even like a live audition, and it was, you know. But I went to the first one in New York because that's where I was living. And then the second one was actually here in Vegas where I live now. But I had never been here before. That was the first time that I ever came to Vegas, and I did the tryout. And there were some familiar faces at that one, like the Boogeyman, John Morrison. Who else was there? A few others that didn't go on. I think the Miz, or he might have been. Yeah, that might have been number 2, or no, that was 3, I think. But anyway, one thing about Tough Enough is if you got chosen as the winner of Tough Enough, you didn't have a career. If you didn't get chosen, they ended up signing you and keeping it quiet. That's the way that worked. A lot of guys. You remember Matt Morgan? Tough Enough 3, was it? Little secret about that. I'm gonna let the cat out of the bag right now. Things that I happen to know because of who I am. But, you know, 7-foot tall guy, and they had him on the Tough Enough show, but they had already signed him. So that whole thing where he got hurt on the beach or whatever like that, that was a complete work. And he actually, they wanted to pull him off the show because they wanted to just start training him. And they had him already working. Already signed. All right. I don't know how we're doing on time, but I'm gonna keep going, man, because I'm enjoying it. Yeah. Hopefully you are too. Otherwise, I'm being real selfish here. Oh man, got all this stuff in an envelope and everything's falling out. All right, these are just pictures of like events and stuff that I went to when I was a fan. Photographs and stuff. There's a few photographs there's a few of me, wrestling pictures of me and everything. But I'll take you through the interesting stuff here. Let me see. I believe. I mean, let's see. Interesting, like. Like this. See the shorts and the boots? That's my, I don't, oh wait, I wasn't wearing my, I was wearing those socks in that picture. It couldn't have been my first match. But it was right there in the beginning because I was wearing those shorts, and that was after the match. Might have been my second match. But you could see I wasn't happy. I was very disappointed because it didn't go well, but how well can a first match go? All right, here we go. I think that this one's very hard to see, but I believe that was, maybe that was my first match. And I guess that one went okay, or at least I acted like it went okay at the end. But that was me. That was me with my big afro. And yeah, nothing else interesting, but first match pictures are always interesting. Okay, yeah, these are just same old stuff. Yeah. Let's go past the photographs here, because these are all pretty much nothing that you ain't seen already. But this stuff here now, here we go. Here is a newspaper article in my hometown of Westchester. I lived in Harrison, and you can see here that I was in the newspaper as a local hero, local wrestler. I don't even know what it says, but Harrison's so fine, Vic Divine gets fired up on Heat. Oh, that was when I did Sunday Night Heat, and I guess I happen to know the guy who was writing for this, and he wanted to do a little story on me, so there I am. So that was pretty cool, being in the newspaper as a local, local guy that. That's pretty cool. Ah, look at this. Look at this. This is one of the. I was just talking about this match with Crowbar. See that? Crowbar versus Vic Divine, special ref Mick Foley. What do you think about that? And I just ran into Crowbar over the weekend, last weekend, in Pennsylvania, doing a thing. And speaking of Crowbar, if you tune into AEW on Wednesday, you will see Crowbar wrestling. And just to give you an idea of how long ago this was in 2005. And he's still going. And when you see that match, you'll see that he really is timeless, because he is unbelievable, man. He has not slowed down, and he looks in great shape, and it's unbelievable how some people really are timeless. Here's just another wrestling. I'm gonna try to find the ones that I'm featured on here. I got other. Well, there's no picture, but I'm on this poster here. It just says my name. Let's see. Wow, look at this. Interesting. 2003 Feud of the Year from ECPW. Andrew Anderson versus Vic Divine. Andrew Anderson used to be good friends with him. This is the feud of 2003. Yeah. Keep being the way you are, and there's going to be a feud of, 2021. But that, I'm not saying nothing. Wow. Here I am. This is a local show. This is going back, doesn't say what year, but here, the main event, Sabu. And I must have met him way back when, but I actually just met him and got to know him, and my flight was with him he lives out here now, and cool dude. I actually got to talk to him and know him, and I was always kind of afraid to, because he scared the hell out of me, and I told him that too. But here we got another newspaper article of a local show in Westchester. I guess that I was the hometown boy, There I am. And you got Tommy Dreamer on there, because he was actually the hometown boy too, because this was in Yonkers. It's funny that you look through some of these flyers from so long ago, and a lot of these guys are no longer with us, and some of them have gone on to big time. Let's see. And some of the guys, like, I got to know years later. I was on shows with them and had no idea who they were, or, never really talked to them. Here's a flyer. There's me right there. See that right there where my finger is? That's me. Here's I believe this was the year 1999 or 2000. My name is on here, but the big deal was that Bret Hart was doing a autograph signing there. So I got to meet Bret Hart there. And that was pretty cool. I'm just peeking through, trying to find the interesting stuff for you. Here's something. Remember these posters? These old-time posters, man? Look at that. Who do we got? This is 2003. And we got Tony Atlas versus So Fine Vic Divine. I just saw Tony Atlas when I was actually on the Monte The Pharaoh show, and I told him that me and him have wrestled a few times, and there's the proof right there. I don't know what promotion this was, but I know there were other times, not just this one time. Man, some names on here. Nice. But there you go. There you go, Tony. Here you go, man. There's proof right there. See it? Vic Divine versus Tony Atlas, 2003. And I do have, I probably have a picture of us wrestling somewhere in that collection. That's about it of this stuff here, and so I believe that's really all I got to show without getting too deep into everything of things that you don't really need to see that are just fan type stuff. But there's the story, man. That is the story of Vic Divine. And I believe in the next episode what we'll talk about is how I went from being Vic Divine to being Motch-0-Man. So we're going to continue starting from the very beginning, and each episode we're going to keep on going. Yeah, keep on going down the road. Yeah, but don't be hypnotized. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So the next time you see me, I'm going to be a different version of Motch going down the road. You understand what I'm saying? So as you see me, I'm going to be progressively getting to the different looks that you're more familiar with. Yeah. So until then, I'm going to see you real soon. Yeah, dig it?